Science jerks. Science jerks. Science jerks. The rate of change in acceleration of science. Science jerks.
Welcome to the Science Jerks. I'm your host, Dave Chacho. With me, as per usual, Robert Chan.
Hi.
And we're back for another week of science with our very special guest from the iOS sketch group, DJ Fawcett, and the other sketch group, Bone Mouth, Meg Favreau.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks
Meg.
for having me, gentlemen.
What's Bone Mouth again? You were just telling me before we started recording.
It's a two-person sketch group I do with Alexa Simpson, and it tends to be dark and absurd.
Dark, absurd sketch.
Nice. So, but not stand-up.
No.
It's like actual sketch.
Yes, sketch.
Cool. I'm into it.
I like your tepid approval for my not stand-up.
No. I'm putting it into the little boxes in my head.
Okay.
And there's nothing else in that box.
What's the hierarchy
So
of those boxes?
No, there's no hierarchy.
Rate what I do.
Stand-up,
Tell me what
sketch,
it's
It's
beneath.
one of those, like you open up
Podcaster.
one of those boxes that have all the teeny tiny holes in it, like for action figures.
Dovecoats?
You open it up and it's just like a big little square, and there's just like a bunch of little squares. So it's just pop.
You didn't display your action figures? You kept them in a box?
Actually, I kept them. Not
You
not
took
in
them
a
out
box
of the
like that.
original packages?
Yes. Oh, yes. Did I ever? Just like a big old cardboard box. They just went in there. And I
Okay.
dug them out as
Okay, so you
So
didn't
nothing.
have this slotted action figure box.
No,
Sorry,
no,
I've never heard
no.
of this
I was
before.
I was a poor kid. I didn't have that sort of.
You're talking about a
luxury.
box.
Yes.
You're just talking about
No,
a
no.
box.
I am. What
So
I put
you
mine in
throw
was a
all
box.
comedians into a
What-
box, is
I
what
did-
you're saying.
Yes. I need to categorize
cardboard
them
box.
so that I know whether or not to dislike them.
Which ones do you dislike?
Dave.
Oh, okay. Is that a broad category?
I put my hand up so that you wouldn't see my finger pointing at you. How did you know?
Yes, that was a good physical bit for the podcast. You have categories called Everybody But Chacho in comedy. And this other category
Yeah.
that some other people fall into, including just me.
These are SEO tags. And if Chacho is one of those tags, dunzo. Directly into the recycle bin.
Well, you'll be happy to know, Meg, that you do not fall into the hated Chacho category.
Not yet. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, okay.
By the end of the night.
Could she earn
be
Chacho
an
status?
honorary Dave.
It could, yes.
Okay.
It could well happen.
I didn't know that was possible.
I got a lot of procedures up there, and
So this podcast is all just about your brain problems, is what you're saying.
that's what a podcast is.
They're our brain
Go ahead
problems
and find me
now.
one where that is not the case, and I will show
Fair
you
enough.
an NPR show that's just been recorded over.
Boring.
So, do you have any performances coming up? Is that
I do. On the, I believe, 9th of June, we have our next DJ Fawcett show, which will be 7:30 p.m. at iOS with Mr. Worm.
With my name is Owen.
Oh, excellent!
It's a good pairing.
Coincidentally.
I would dare say it's the best pairing at the theater. Sorry, everyone else, that I sound like an asshole.
I'll second that. We've been paired with a lot of other groups, and they are all shit. Except for DJ Fawcett.
I'm going to ask you that again in a few months when you're paired with another team. Let's do some science.
All right.
Yay.
Micromumiology.
All right. Take a good eyeful of this guy.
Okay, looks like an action figure. First off, because it's what, 6 inches?
About 6 inches long. Everybody, before you listen to this segment, Google serious documentary
SIRIUS.
or Atacama humanoid. ATACAMA. Okay, about recently in the Atacama Desert in Chile, treasure hunter came upon a mummy
Do
with
they
a
still
skeleton.
have treasure hunters? Okay,
That's
has that
this-
ever been a
apparently-
job?
well,
has that been an occupation, or is that just...
It might just be a euphemism for a homeless guy who is looking for something to sell.
Yeah, I think
Gotcha.
it's you become a treasure hunter when you find treasure. Before that, you're just some
You're just
jag-off
a
who's
homeless guy.
wandering around. Yeah.
Well, I guess it was an abandoned village, and he was poking around looking for treasure.
And
Found
or food.
a tiny 6-inch mummy unwrapped it, found a little skeleton inside that looks like a freaking alien. It has like a big ovoid flat head and giant eye cavities. And so it sparked all of this internet talk about proof of alien life.
As it would, as anything
as it
would.
should.
Oh, he found a mango in the village, the abandoned village. Proof of aliens.
There are no
Aliens must have
mangoes
put it
growing
there.
anywhere nearby.
Oh.
It gets even weirder. There's a documentary that was crowdfunded.
It's
called
you are
Serious.
I don't see
with
you
an S.
making air quotes around documentary right now. And I feel like you should.
Well, it's funny. I watched the trailer for the documentary. It's $10 to watch a documentary. Sorry, guys. I don't have
We don't care about this show
that
that
kind
much.
of cash to throw down on research for this show, but I did watch the trailer, and the trailer's all like, aliens are real, we found proof, and like all these guys like, there's millions of planets, there's got to be aliens.
It doesn't mean they're going to fucking make it here.
But what actually
In
happened...
tiny mummy form.
Mother's Day is coming up. That doesn't mean I'm going to visit my mother just because she's within driving range.
Is this
As
coming
well you
out before Mother's Day? So you
No,
can warn
no.
her with the
No.
No,
that'd
she knows. She knows I'm not coming.
She has that disappointment deep in her heart
Yeah,
already.
yeah. I'll text her and she'll say, "Oh, that's nice. That's about expected." That's par for the Chan course.
Do you want to record a message for her right now if she's listening to this?
Hey, Mom, I'm doing a podcast right now, so I can't talk. Happy Mother's Day, though. Thanks. Bye.
You thanked her.
Touching.
Thanks for listening. I mean,
Sincerely, signed, Robert J. Chan. I don't know your middle name.
no, that's Jay.
So, what actually happens in the documentary I have read is that they took this little mummy skeleton to Stanford, 6 inches long, remember, and they took a sample of the bone marrow and did a DNA test, and it is human. It is a human skeleton, 6-inch long human skeleton. So they thought, okay, probably a fetus or something, an abortion, a hideous monster killed before it was born.
Basically a David Lynch Eraserhead type baby.
Yeah,
Actually, Jesus, now that I'm looking at it, it kind of does look like the Eraserhead baby.
yeah.
So David Lynch is a prophet.
Also, I like the idea that this would be the actual baby, and David Lynch now, because he can do whatever he wants at this point. It's just like going around dropping his old props places. How great would that be? Just like putting that chaos into the world.
We found a 400-foot sandworm in the Sahara. There's like no fucking idea how it got there, but Jesus
It's
Christ.
either an alien or a prop. So anyway, Atacama humanoid. So this thing is human. That's kind of shocking if you look at the picture of it. The second thing is it's not ancient from 100,000 years ago. It's a couple decades old. This thing lived recently, like in the 20th century. The third thing is they think that it was about 6 to 8 years old when it died. It's not a fetus. A 6-inch human person was walking around Chile in the 80s. That is the conclusion of this documentary. As far as I've read, I've not seen a documentary. Do not hold me to this.
No, I'm still going to insist that you use those air quotes because I don't see how that happens.
The other hypothesis is that it had some kind of, or there is an aging disease.
Morkism.
Benjamin
Where you
Buttonism.
get smaller, yeah.
Well, Morkism is the same as Benjamin Buttonism because they age in reverse, right?
Okay.
Yeah, there is an aging
See,
disease.
I haven't seen Benjamin Button, but I have seen episodes of Mork and Mindy. And if I had to choose, I'd go with the one that had Pam Dauber in it.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same story.
Wasn't there that other Robin Williams movie too where he grew Jack? Yes, isn't that?
Yeah.
No,
I remember
he
that
just,
being
he was
like
grew
a-
up, but like
grown
his-
boy or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he grew up too fast.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite.
Oh.
That's what this thing might
It's the
be.
opposite of that. It's reverse Jackism is what this baby had.
No. It's reverse Benjamin Buttonism, which is the same
Reverse
as Jack.
Benjamin Buttonism would be
Jack
normal
would be
people.
Jackism.
So it's kind of a reverse inverted button Jackism.
Everything must be related
Anyway.
to Benjamin Button.
It really all comes back to it. It's like having bacon. It's like it all comes back.
How many degrees of freedom is this At a Common Humanoid from Kevin Bacon? Was in a documentary called Sirius with a bunch of quacks.
Howard the Duck
Howard the Duck
featured William Atherton, who was
with
in
a bunch of quacks.
Ghostbusters.
With Kevin Bacon?
Yes, Kevin Bacon
terrible at this
played the
game.
voice of Slimer. That's
Okay, so the other hypothesis is that it is a fetus with an aging disease that made it age so that its body was
so it has
that of a 6-year-old.
It has regular Jackism. That makes sense.
That's what I'm saying.
That's, okay,
Regular
yeah, I'm fine with
Jackism.
that. We are good doctors.
So they think it might have been an aborted fetus that had Jackism and was had a 6-year-old body from aging prematurely and then died. Or it was a 6-inch human boy who walked around and was 8 years old. Or it is proof of aliens. I like to think it was the latter.
I like to think that Robin Williams is a 6-year-old Chilean boy.
I like the 6-inch tall normal human. Just
Little
'cause I like,
Chilean boy.
Yeah, just like imagining this guy walking around in his 80s gear, just like President Tiny Man.
Yeah. You have to imagine Meg doing the jaunty
Yeah.
walk with her elbows, just kind of kicking out. Like,
Come on, if you're Tiny Man, like you cannot be sad about that.
oh, that's true. That's
You
true.
know?
You can't walk around with your head hung low. You got to walk around like you're the
I'm special.
Yeah, you know,
like
it's,
Jiminy fucking Cricket.
Yeah,
I'm a magical cricket. No, you're a freak of nature, son.
We're gonna mummify you now.
I'm still alive.
Heptadeca, entomology.
What's that sound? It's the sound of the porkies of the entomological world. Yes, cicadas, who sit underground for 17
What
years,
cicadas?
then pop right out to get laid as many times as possible in 3 weeks before they die. Okay, yeah, let's figure this out then.
Let's settle this right now.
I say it's cicadas. You think it's cicadas.
I claim it's cicadas.
and I also say it's cicadas. And we told him this before we started recording, and he's still.
I want to do this on air because there's an audio pronunciation for the word
But if
Webster.
just know this, if we're right, from now on, me and Meg are doing this podcast.
That seems reasonable.
You know, that's what I do. I guessed and then just
And
like
just
take
take
over.
over.
Yeah.
Here, according to Merriam-Webster, is the proper pronunciation. Oh, what's that?
Oh, you're off the
that's
podcast.
not-
That was not the one that you said it was.
Pretty sure that it was cicada.
Yep.
I'm gonna look. You know what? I'm gonna
No.
look it up and I'm gonna find regional pronunciation of cicada.
Now check on the pronunciation of orgy. So the 17-year cicada.
Yes, indeed.
They're back.
If you're in the East, you may run across them. There are 15 broods. I first found out about cicadas. I don't care. I do not give a fuck.
I'm just going to find a little phoneme of you saying somewhere in the podcast, and I'm going to cut it in every time you say cicada.
Enjoy that. Enjoy your 19-hour editing binge.
Please
of
don't
this.
say it anymore.
Yeah, I first heard about it on an NPR episode many, many years ago where they were talking about Brood 10. No, actually, I had read about it, and I saw it said Brood X, and I thought that was the best name for a metal band ever.
Brood
Then found out it was
X.
Brood 10 because they used Roman numerals. And
What
I was a little
about
less excited, but
Cicada
still.
orgy.
Cicada
That's
Orgy?
a good band.
It's just like industrial dance thing. Just
Although-
like it's dubstep. It's dub. Cicadas are the original dubstep.
You know, one thing I know about dubstep is it goes underground for 17 years and then rises again.
I also heard that it's intolerably loud.
It is all of these things and more. Yeah,
So
but-
I've heard of the 17-year cicada. I remember when I was a kid, I was like 8 years old. We had an infestation of the 17-year cicada, and they all came out in like 2 weeks and made deafening love outside
Yes.
my windows.
Yes. I mean, come on. That is what it is. It's straight fucking. It is 3 weeks of fucking.
That's all they did. They hibernate for 17 years.
They don't
basically?
hibernate. Well, they go underground
Or they're
and they
like
grow.
little.
They
like
feed off the
in
sap of
worm
tree roots.
form or something,
Yeah,
right?
larval form.
Like little cicada maggots.
Yeah.
For 17 years, and then
they pop out, they molt, and they turn, like big old bugs. They climb up a tree and make noise until a female comes up and just makes the beast with, I don't know how many backs it would be. Probably.
Gives them a round of applause.
If you think this is so cool, you could do the same thing. You could go up in a tree and make a bunch of noise until some girl came up and had sex
No,
with
you can't, because they will call the cops.
Might be female cops.
If you rarely, and you know what?
You call
what
the
they
female
do?
cops.
They are even meaner. For some reason, they don't care for the fact that I have binoculars. I'm up in a tree.
Are you
and I'm
here to
looking
have
mate.
sex with me?
Yeah.
What is that taser for?
It's for me. It's for me.
So the thing that I just learned is the brood thing. Because I thought the 17-year cicada meant all over
Every
the
17
world,
years.
in every place in the world, the same year, every 17 years,
Nope.
all the cicadas popped up. But it's regional. So like some pop up in 2004, some popped up in 2009, some popped up this year.
There's 15 broods. 3 of them are 13-year cicadas. And there are 7 species amongst all of these. And it's not even like brood 5 is just one species. There are a few different species in each of them. It's just everybody at some point decided, okay, we're all going under, and we'll be back in 17 years. See you later. And we're not sure why they do that.
Nor why they don't pop up every year. I mean, they could be underground for 17 years, but still come out every year in shifts. You know what I mean? But they don't.
There's no work schedule.
There's no profit sharing.
The Flintstones at the beginning, where the horn goes off and he goes sliding down the brontosaurus and heads off to work. That's how
What does that have to do with anything?
Shifts. When I think shifts, I think of that little whistle blowing. So obviously, dinosaurs have to be involved.
Obviously. But it's just weird that each of these broods has evolved to be completely non-existent for 16 years, no trace whatsoever, and then the 17th year just...
I just find it creepy that bugs exist for that long. Like, singular bugs can, like, grow for 17 years and come out of the ground. Because, like, I feel like my knowledge of bugs is like, hey, like, they have short lifespans. You see them and they die, and there's new bugs next year. And the fact that, like, one can live for that long in some form is terrifying.
You know what you probably shouldn't do is Google to find out the oldest living insect, because I bet you that there are plenty of them that hibernate and have been alive for decades and possibly even...
They hold a grudge, too. So if you did something to piss off a cicada in 1996...
They're all going to know. The entire brood is going to know.
But do you...
Millions of them.
How often do I hear that outside my window?
She killed my brother.
Like, do cicadas do anything like physically terrifying other than noise and sex, or
Nope.
they're not
Nope.
biters or anything?
Nope.
No, but they have these long,
Dave's
spindly
making claws.
legs. I've had one land on me before, and it is terrifying because
Yeah.
they're big.
And they're built to hang onto a tree while fucking. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever tried to fuck in a tree, but you have to clamp on pretty tight. So if
do.
they land on you,
It's
getting
like
them
a
off
little.
can be
It
kinda-
feels like a little claw. They grasp on really tightly, and when you're 8 years old and one lands on your shoulder, you scream
Yep,
and
nope,
you
that is
keep
correct.
screaming for about 3 weeks.
Yep.
Until they're all dead.
Yeah, I first saw them or heard them and experienced them in Japan, and fortunately, they were just all up in their cherry blossom trees, and they weren't coming down. They had other things to do, so I never had one land on me. So all I have is just a pleasant memory of like this crazy noise, just this entire forest is reverberating with this sound, and that's it. You don't bother me, I don't bother you. We're going to live our lives, and everything's going to be cool. I don't care what crazy kinky shit you're getting up to next door, as long as you don't like bust down my door and try and put a ball gag in my mouth. I'm cool. Man, just go to town.
Well, I didn't finish the story about the one that landed on me. Lost my virginity that day at the age of 8.
Luminescent Dendrology.
Our old friend George Church from Harvard U is back at it again.
Just so you know, when I looked at this article earlier today while I was sitting at work, I almost shouted out loud because I was so excited.
To see George.
Not so much that, but as soon as I saw Kickstarter, I was like, what? And then I checked it, and I was, holy shit, this is amazing.
We should just have a recurring segment that's
George
called
Watch.
Church Watch. I like Church Watch better. Maybe George Church Watch.
Yeah, well, I also like cicadas, and apparently that's not going to fly,
Well,
so fuck you and your
Boo.
church watch.
They do fly briefly. We've talked about George Church. He made waves in the news a few months ago when he suggested that we could, if we so desired, implant a Neanderthal fetus into a human woman and
That guy.
give birth to a Neanderthal.
And I mean, it obviously wasn't as bad as that. It was just like one of those things like, oh yeah, no, we could totally do that. We're not going to do that. I have no plans to, and this is not like a thing. I was just like, yeah, we have the technology. Conceivably, we could do that.
It was kind of sounded like he had his fingers crossed. And he was like, oh, I'm not actually doing that. I was just suggesting the possibility. But he's big into sort of, let's fucking experiment because we can.
Yes.
And his newest thing is crowdsourcing,
Kickstarter.
like a Kickstarter campaign to do science.
No, like an actual Kickstarter.
An actual...
Like, if it's... Don't bother with saying crowdfunding or crowdsourcing if it's on goddamn Kickstarter. Now that Zach Braff has
They're
been
not
through
paying
the ringer,
us.
everybody knows what Kickstarter is.
Could be Indiegogo.
A prominent
No, nobody uses
crowdsourcing
Indiegogo.
website.
No serious person uses Indiegogo.
I'd like to apologize to all my friends who have their web series on Indiegogo right now.
Guess who didn't give you money? So his idea now is that with crowdsourcing, with Kickstarter, with all these websites that allow you to raise funds by yourself, you can do these crazy science experiments yourself. You don't need
You say
to
crazy,
have...
I say cool as shit.
Yes.
That's what Kickstarter is for, is like, that looks cool, I will give you money for that cool thing.
So to demonstrate this crazy cool...
Get to the thing, get to the thing, get to the thing.
He put up a Kickstarter to create glowing trees.
Glowing trees!
That is awesome.
Trees...
We've injected
that
the
glow like
fluorescent
fireflies.
genes into a plant, and motherfucker will send you seeds for $40. You will get seeds.
Will you
50 to
get
100
seeds?
If you donate
you
to the-
fucking
yes.
plant, and you grow fucking glowing trees.
If you donate to the Kickstarter, he will send you seeds of glowing trees.
I'm doing this.
Yes.
And
That's why I'm
Me
saying
too.
Kickstarter, so that all you have to do is just go to Kickstarter and fucking type in glowing trees. It's gonna come
Have
up.
your own creepy arboretum in your
oh,
front
be
yard.
an asshole to all your neighbors.
Well,
Turn off those damn lights.
I can't.
For my tree.
I originally heard this idea last year, I think. One of the, like, Norway or Finland or where all the crazy people are because it's light too long and it's dark too long, suggested here's a way to be ecological and green is to plant these trees instead of lights. So instead of street lamps, you have fucking trees that are already glowing. It doesn't take any energy and your streets are lit. I thought that's amazing. And now, I mean, we haven't got to that. I don't think they were actually employing it, but they wanted to do it, soon once it became
Doesn't
commercially
quite
viable.
work yet. A group about 2 years ago created tobacco that glows in the dark. You don't even need to
Okay,
light it.
sweet.
With all the lights off, after your eyes adjust, it takes about 5 minutes to see the glowing tobacco. So they're not
It's a great
super
Friday
bright. You can't really curl up and read Great Gatsby.
But you can watch it on your iPad.
Yeah, but I don't recommend doing that either. So yeah, he wants to... The tobacco leaves, they had genetically engineered using a marine...
Jellyfish.
Yes, jellyfish DNA.
Because you can inject
'Cause
jellyfish into
there's-
anything.
There's jellyfish that glow deep in the ocean, and they use that. So Church is trying to use the same substance, I forgot what it's called, that fireflies use.
Oh.
Which is pretty bright.
Butt light. That's,
Yeah.
that's what it's called. That's
Butt
what it's called.
light
It's called
trees.
butt light.
Firefly butts. The idea being that these trees will glow as brightly as fireflies, which sounds pretty fucking
Amazing.
awesome.
The Yeah. best.
Now, environmentalist groups are
Fuck
going
them.
myself I consider myself an environmentalist. So
and GMOs, too bad. You would be dead now if it weren't for genetically modified organisms. We couldn't feed the population of the world if we didn't have plants that had been modified.
Monsanto controlling the
Not
corn supply.
Monsanto's a bunch of cunts. But I am all for tweaking genes.
There are dangers in genetic engineering. I don't think this is one of them. I think this project is awesome. But there are such things as invasive species that can get out of control. They don't want people sending seeds and planting them in places that they're not native. I can understand that.
Get some glowing
On the
kudzu.
other
Yeah, 'cause
hand,
it'd be
so-
yeah,
kudzu.
we don't want to start planting kudzu in LA. But that despite all of these objections and despite the fact that I love the environment, I fucking love this project and I'm going to buy some damn glowing trees.
I think that's the way to get everyone on board with pretty much any bad things. It's like, this could be really like terrible for the environment or whatever, but it glows in the dark. It's really badass.
Have you met my friend glow-in-the-dark Hitler? Oh, he's so cute.
Is that child pornography? Yes, but it glows in the... Oh, all right then.
Child pornography actually does kind of glow in the dark. It's on your computer screen.
Oh, no, I meant magazines. I'm old school like that.
Just with like that old like glow-in-the-dark printing over the...
Yeah.
What magazine do you get?
Technically, my child pornography already glows when you put a black light over it for entirely different reasons. I'm a 6-year-old walking through Chile.
It's time for a quiz.
It's time for a quiz. We are Quizmasterless, and Quizmeisterless. So we're stuck with the damn blue box again this week. Are you ready for this, Meg?
I am so ready to maybe disappoint or impress.
That's what
Saved it. Totally saved it. It's cool. Don't worry about it, guys.
We're best at the former and rarely the latter.
Question 1. What was the claim to fame of Laika, the Russian bitch?
Oh, that was the first dog sent into space.
Russian bitch. You just picked that question because it said the Russian bitch, didn't you?
And I did not know the answer was the first dog sent into space. But
Yeah,
that
it was
sounds
the
right.
first Russian space dog.
Yeah.
Oh no, I am obsessed with like the Russian space dog thing.
Really?
Yeah. No, I have.
What do you know about Laika, the Russian bitch?
I shouldn't say anything that I know because I'm 90% sure that it's all true, but a lot of what I learned from a graphic novel about her.
Oh, okay.
And so I fear that stuff I want to say is true, like she was a stray and stuff. It's like, what if that's just like this person's
Oh, wait. This is the dog
romanticizing of it?
that they sent into space and didn't send back.
Yeah.
So they're just like,
Sorry,
enjoy
dog.
space until you starve a month from now.
Well, here's the thing. Like, that is not the worst of the Russian space program. Have you heard that
they did
audio?
the same thing to Yuri Gagarin.
No. It was a friend of Yuri's, because Yuri Gagarin was the first man in space. A little bit later on, they were about to send up a rocket, and they were going to put Yuri on it, but it was rickety as shit. Everybody knew that they were just trying to get it up there so that they could be like a numero uno in terms of space programs beating the U.S., but the thing was a piece of shit. And
This
so
was before Yuri went up, you mean?
No, it was afterwards. He was already a hero, and so his friend was like, "I will go up in that rocket because we can't send Yuri up there." And so
I'll show Yuri.
No, he did it to save his life because they knew that it wasn't going to work. So he made it up, and then on the way down, he burned up on entry, and there is a recording of him screaming on the way down. That is the most horrifying thing.
Really? That exists?
Yeah.
Amazing and awful.
I just want to say, like, Laika had it pretty easy, all things considered.
Well,
with talking
although
Russian.
with this guy, he went up there by choice, I assume.
Yeah, it was like...
Which the dog didn't have choice.
Well, the dog was homeless. What else is he going to do? You give him a bunch of kibbles. Like, yeah, I'll do whatever.
Maybe they gave him a choice. Do you want to go into space? Who wants to go into space?
Who wants to get stuck up in space and die? It's long horrible. The answer, of course, is she was the first dog in space. So, well done, Meg.
Thank you.
All right.
Question 2. What is the largest artery in the human body?
Carotid, that I'm not pronouncing even correctly.
Carotid artery is a thing, but I was thinking the aorta is an artery, isn't it? Or is that a...
I think it's either the carotid or the femoral artery. I feel like that's the thing. When that gets cut, bad things happen.
Yeah.
But isn't the aorta
There's the
an
aorta and
artery?
the ventricles, and I
No,
thought
is
that
it-
they're
I thought-
chambers of the
isn't-
heart.
Yeah.
No,
it's
that's
left aorta, right aorta.
No, the left
ventricle.
atria. Those are atria.
Oh, so the aorta is the top deal.
is the main line
We're
that
all
that
I feel like
runs
we're
to
playing
the.
that dumb circle game right now.
I get to punch you if you look at the aortic
Yeah.
diameter. Good thing
Again,
this is
a good
large
yeah.
table here.
Also, good thing on a podcast.
Yes. Oh yeah. No.
Referencing
No, they get
our-
it. They can
yeah,
hear.
okay.
They can hear the joy in our voices.
Yeah.
They know that something hilarious is going on. Wouldn't you like to be here? I'll fly on the wall. So we've got a carotid. We got the femoral, and we've got the aorta.
I'm gonna say carotid just because that's the first thing I thought of, and
You sticking with the aorta?
I would go with carotid artery. That
Carotid?
sounds like a big
2
one.
for carotid. Okay, we're going with carotid. The answer is the aorta.
Oh,
Damn.
even though we're choosing as a group, I am winning.
does that
All
count
right,
for like
150.
half a point that the right answer was in there somewhere?
Oh no, you get to see that. You get to see your shame and failure. Question 3. What does a man suffering from diphthalic terata have?
What? Let me
Ew.
see what that is
Well,
spelled like.
diphthalic, that's 2 penises. I don't even care what the rest of that means.
Diphthalic
That wouldn't be
terata.
like
Oh.
a split dick, would
Split,
it?
maybe a split penis.
A
yeah,
split, how is that a thing? How do you get that unless you're doing a Prince Albert?
Or
Prince Albert can give you a good.
it wouldn't be
diphthalic
something
terata.
with maybe like where the pee comes out 2 ways, right? I knew a guy who got a Prince Albert and it came out.
And it's split, right? I've heard that everybody's heard this like horror story that your Prince Albert comes out and then you pee in 3 different directions.
Yeah, no. One of my like happy place memories is being at a diner with this guy and another friend, and the other friend asking him if he could watch him pee, and just coming back and not being able to stop laughing for like 5 minutes.
That's probably what this thing is.
That doesn't seem like that there would be a
Diphthalic
term for
terata.
that. I feel like it must be something else that happens to look like a penis, or when malformed looks like. What is a man
Because
suffering from diphthalic?
I would
terata?
think that a split penis would be biphalic, right?
If it's 2 penises, I'm going to be so angry because that's not a thing.
It might destroy your entire world if you knew that was a thing and you didn't have it.
Not only do I not have a normal sized penis,
There
but
are
also I could have had 2.
guys out there with 2. This is just not fair. I'm going to have to say it's split penis.
Yeah, I don't have a better.
fine. Split penis.
Diphthalic terata
Plus
is
0 already.
2 penises.
Is it
Are you
really?
kidding me?
What?
Are you kidding me?
How can that be a thing?
You know what? It's this genus. It was probably a hoax that we discovered in the 90s, but these idiots in the 80s still thought it was a real thing, like Bigfoot.
Wait,
There's
that-
probably a question in here that was like, what is Bigfoot? It's fucking fake, all right?
That second one's just a cardboard tube you glued on. Oh, I was found out.
I was hoping if I put a condom over it, you wouldn't notice.
Question 4. What 4-legged creature did a Cornell University studies say would make man's best companion in space? I gotta think it's not a dog if they're doing a study. Because, the first thing is like, hey, a dog would love it. Dog would be scared shitless.
It
up
seems
in
like a
space.
misdirect that they said man's best companion since,
Yeah.
Yeah.
man's best friend thing.
Because those 80s people thought they were so smart.
Cat would be better in space anyway because they don't need to go out for runs.
But also, they wouldn't be happy with that
Yeah,
zero
they'd
gravity
probably
shit.
scratch your
Yeah.
They'd
face
be
off in
super
zero
pissed.
gravity.
Like a rat, maybe. Oh, you know what? A rat.
Ooh, yeah, rats are supposed to be really good pets.
They are. They're cool.
Yeah.
And they're small. And,
Could be a camel.
1 hump or 2 humps.
Don't
Don't be ridiculous.
a biphallic camel. The best friend a man can have
Granted.
is a biphallic camel.
A
heard that
two-penis
before.
camel
Yeah, that's a
in
thing.
any situation is man's best friend. but I don't know. Are we going to say rat?
Let's say rat. I think that's a decent guess.
The goat.
Oh,
The goat?
what?
They eat tin cans.
Yeah, I mean, I thought goats were supposed to be kind of mean and awful.
Yeah.
I bet you they're probably the most adaptable.
I had a pet goat when I was a kid, and it used to chase me around and butt me
It'd be super hard to butt you in space.
That doesn't sound like a pet. That sounds like a bully.
I
Are
was
you sure you didn't have a bully?
bullied by a
Who was a
queen.
goat?
Or if we do some regression therapy, are you going to turn out?
He
just
took
like
my lunch
he
money
turned
and
into
called
goat
me a
in his head?
fag.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a bully. 100%. He may have been wearing a shirt that had a goat on it.
I think it was just a fifth grader that lived across the street.
He may have had a goatee. Question 5. This is the last one for this episode.
How we do? Are we 1 for 4?
Oh yeah, this is not going well.
boy.
So we could go 2 for 5 on this one, which is about average for us.
Okay.
So let's try not to be below average, which is already a horrible number to begin with. What is the largest gland in the human body? I know the largest organ in the human body is skin.
Yeah, not a gland.
So maybe it's one of those like trick question kind of mammary glands.
Mammary glands are sometimes big, not always.
Even you know what? I gotta think that even small mammary glands are bigger than say a pituitary
Or a thyroid.
Pituitary
or a
gland.
thyroid. Gonads
pineal-
are glands.
Pineal gland.
Those are all teeny
adrenal
tiny things.
gland.
Yeah,
They're all
tiny,
pretty
tiny.
small. With some like kidneys and livers, those aren't glands, right?
Yeah.
Could it be like some trick? Like a liver is technically a gland.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't think so. Cause
Could it be thyroid gland with a tumor on it? Does the tumor count?
Ooh, oh,
No iodine? Big old thyroid tumor?
cancer gland?
goiter. Is that a
Yeah.
gland?
When I used to work at the amusement park in high school, there was a goose that had a goiter. That was like part of the like animals that the children looked at. It just had this big disgusting thing hanging off of it.
Oh, they didn't fix it. Just let it be.
Yeah, the land where fantasy lives.
Is there a
And
fix for a goiter?
oncologists don't.
What do? Cut it off?
I have
Isn't
no
a goiter
idea.
from too much salt?
No, are you thinking of gout? Gout is when you eat too much rich food. But I think the goiter, because I think if the goiter is the thyroid cancer thing, it's when you don't have enough iodine, which is why there's iodine in salt.
What's rickets?
Rickets is a lack of vitamin D.
When you don't get enough sunlight, right?
Also, I just feel like I should say at this point that I do not use me for medical advice.
I've got this thing I want you to take a look at. Is this a diphallic?
That's diphallus tirata.
Tirata.
That is- or
The podcast was
a
great
cargo
until
tube.
they showed me their dicks.
We've got 2 dicks. Does that mean we
together,
have
Between the two of you.
together we have diphallic tirata. This podcast has diphallic tirata.
Hey, new tagline.
Diphallic tirata, the science podcast.
Oh, what
are we
are
gonna
we
do with
going
this
with? Memory sounds like a good guess.
Yeah, I'll accept it.
The liver. The motherfucking liver.
Did
We were
I-
so close, but it would have just been a guess
Did I
because
say?
you don't get any credit for that one.
I'll give you a third of a point.
He was just naming off organs. He was naming large organs. That does not.
I hope that
Said-
somebody will do the same thing for me someday. So that's why.
Fair enough. You guys, we got 1 out of 5.
I got
That
3
is,
out of 5.
I'm not blaming you, Meg, because I think you actually were the only
did
one
get
that
the
got
one.
right.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they didn't have this in the 80s, but I've seen mammary glands that are way bigger than livers before.
I bet you large-breasted women have even larger livers, and vice versa.
What?
Yes.
How come RedTube doesn't respond to my search for double D liver?
A pot of one.
So this has been going around Facebook today. I noticed it, and I thought, oh, that's kind of odd. So naturally, I researched it because the first thing you should fucking do before you post anything on Facebook is check Snopes, and then Google it real quick. This was mostly true, though. There is a whale that they first heard in 1992 that its song is at 52 hertz, which is weird because most other animals of its species, like baleen whales, tend to sing in the 15 to 25 hertz range. So for some reason, this whale is just like way out
Out
there.
of key.
Yeah, wildly out of key. So much so that it may not even be communicating with other whales.
So
Other whales may not be able to hear what it's singing.
there's just this one whale out in the middle of the ocean
One whale.
that they keep hearing
Yeah.
at the
and
wrong frequency.
They can kind of track him because he doesn't sound like anybody else. And he doesn't have, what do you call it, a pack or a herd or like a
Pod.
pod. It
Murder?
doesn't. Yeah, a murder of whales.
Doesn't have a
Yes.
murder of whales.
It just kind of wandering around on its own, singing its song. They don't know why. I mean, they haven't managed to like get down and grab him and even figure out
Is
if
he
he's
sad?
We don't know.
The emo whale.
You can't see if he's crying because he's in the water.
This is
Maybe
true.
he's trying to sing Morrissey.
Oh, God damn it, Morrissey.
See, here's the thing: an emo kid is a douchebag because, for the most part, they kind of bring it on themselves. I say this as someone who was whatever the version of an early '90s emo kid was. Before emo, I was one of those kids. You know, I'm not
You're
disparaging
like
them.
an emo kid, take away the emotion.
Yes. Just a blank, just underscore kid. But this whale has a legitimate reason to be sad, if in fact he is sad, because he doesn't get to talk to anybody. He's just a lone whale. There have been deaf groups that have come forward and suggested that maybe he is deaf. And that is the reason why it sounds weird. And he may just not even realize that other whales are talking.
What's the matter, guys? Why isn't anybody talking to me?
Or it may just be like the whale just like going ba 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 ba
He's just singing to himself in his head, just
because
wandering the ocean.
There's no noise, so he doesn't know what he's doing. Or it may be that he is a weird hybrid fluke. Like,
Fluke is a type. Is it actually a fluke whale?
No. My apologies.
Okay.
It's just
Maybe he's just
a freak of nature, a misbegotten monstrosity.
Isn't a fluke like one of the fins?
Yes.
Maybe he's.
But also, it's a fluke whale.
He's
There's
just
also things.
he's just a fluke.
He's just one giant fin. This is super
Slicing
malformed.
through the ocean.
Tail fin
You
flopping
guys,
around.
this is the David Lynch whale.
I don't have any ears. I can't hear
David
how I
Lynch
sound.
dreamed it, and his transcendental meditation made it come to pass. It's just a.
We should lower David Lynch in the ocean and see if he can talk to this fucking whale.
Hey there, whale. I noticed you're just sitting there alone. You know who else is alone? All of us in one way or another.
That's a pretty good David
Thank
Lynch.
you. I've been working on it for a long time. I say I work on it. There's a little David Lynch in my head that's been there since I was 9 years old. Just talking to me.
I want that to exist. I would watch it over and over.
David Lynch talking to a whale.
Yes.
Do you also enjoy wearing button-up shirts that button all the way up to your neck?
You should meet my sister. Her name is Gina.
Is that a Twin Peaks reference?
Yeah, it was. So maybe sad, or maybe he might be the Chuck Norris of whales. He may be so badass that he's singing octaves above what any of his compadres can hear or recognize.
So you're saying
Because that's what Chuck Norris
like
does.
Chuck Norris,
does.
known for singing in high register.
You think that Walker, Texas Ranger is a piece of shit TV series.
I never
He's
said
just
that.
operating on levels beyond our comprehension.
He's like Tiny Tim. Maybe he's
He's got a little whale ukulele.
got a falsetto and a ukulele, and he's entertaining the seas.
That's our show.
And that's our show. Thank you very much to our special guest, Meg Favreau.
Thank you so much for having me, gentlemen.
Absolutely. You have been a delight. We may even bring you back for another episode. Maybe. Maybe.
I say yay.
Oh, all right. Just this once.
He did get everything right in the quiz too, so you should probably listen.
That's right. I got everything right, and that is why you get to come back for saying something so nice and wrong.
Yes. And Caitlin lied.
That's how you end the show, right? Is I just tell a bunch of lies about
Yes, lie about
both of you.
nice
You
things
both
about
have
us.
two penises.
We are the quadfellatorata of science podcasts.
How many podcasts can say that? Any of them can
The
say
Long
it,
Shot
I
podcast.
guess.
No, they only have 3. I'm trying to think of podcasts with 4 dudes.
You don't know Amber doesn't have a penis.
Where can they find you online, Meg?
Oh, I am all sorts of places online. I have a website that is megfavreau.com. That's Favreau.
Have I been saying it wrong this entire time?
it's-
I feel like an ass.
No. It's some of my family says Favreau and some says Favreau, and I am fine with either. Just don't
Oh,
call me
really?
Megan because that's not my name.
Oh, is it
Really?
MEG?
It is
period?
MEG.
After
That's-
Megalodon?
Yes. No, my full name is Meg on my birth certificate.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I got that website. I got a Twitter. It's the same name. And I'm doing a Tumblr right now of old jokes from joke books from before 1950 that I'm really excited about. So that's called Some Old Jokes.
Nice.
.tumblr.
Oh, are you vining those?
I do not have an iPhone.
How do you find old jokes?
How do you live? How is that a thing?
I live very annoyed because it's only on iPhone, right? I have an Android.
Vine? I think you can get Vine
it
on
might
Android.
be on Android.
Okay, then I have no
because
excuse.
it's a Twitter thing. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like-
Go get it.
The answer is no.
You're finding old jokes and
Yeah, I've been getting old joke books off of eBay, and also Google Books is like a great resource. I found joke books from like the 1700s
wow.
that I'm pulling
Crazy.
from. Yeah.
Oh my God! You got to get comedians to like read them.
No, I that's what I want to eventually do is I want to do like a one-off show of like people just picking their favorite weird old jokes.
yeah, like a full stand-up show that's
Yeah.
just all 1700s jokes.
Yep.
That'd be hilarious.
Sorry, I brought my notebook out, guys. Let's see. What's the news? What's the news? You can find us at thesciencejerks.com or sciencejerks.com, at thesciencejerks on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Yeah, go to our website and email us from there, or go to Amazon from there. We got one of those links where, it doesn't cost you anything. We get money.
Buy your Amazon shit through us.
I think so far we're the only ones that have bought Amazon shit out there, which is fine.
I'm paying our salary buying books through our website.
Yeah, we will see you in a few days, yeah.
I'm at Dave Chacho on Twitter.
I'm at 999 RPMs.
Did you say your Twitter handle?
Yeah,
You already
it's
did.
Meg Favreau.
And we'll be
Do you
back
not
with
pay attention
Meg
to our
in a
guests?
few
Do you
days.
really
I
not?
haven't listened to any of this podcast. I've just been singing a 52 hertz song in my head.
That's why I haven't kissed a girl in 6 years.
Well,
Is this the end of the podcast? Because we should leave it on that real sad note.